the slow surrender of men. As we start to get older, we get in a relationship, we get married, we get a house, we get a car, we build a family. It's very easy for our priorities to shift from ourself to other people. A few years of prioritizing other people, your beliefs are, this is now just the way it is. As your personal standards fall further down the priority list, your health, your strength, your energy, your recovery, your sleep, resulting in you being able to give a less high quality version of yourself to all of them endeavors, whether that's your work, whether that's your family, marriage, your kids. And it's all because you slowly let your personal standards fall down the priority list. This is very easy to happen. I've got a lot of empathy for you. But this video is going to be how to turn this around. An example of this, and let me know in the comments below if you've got an example yourself, because this, in my opinion, is so common, right? My friend's dad, he worked all of his life and he retired, 5 to 10 years early, right? Retired when he was about 55-year-old. He had a very active job. He walked to work, I think it was 2 miles or something, and he was on his feet all day lifting and just doing basic factory work. Loved his job, a good group of lads at the job as well. And he walked back. He had routine, right? He had a basic level of, physical activity every single day. He prepared his lunch. He had meal times and stuff like that. He went to bed at the same time because he had to be up at the same time every day for work, or most days he was at work. When he retired, he didn't have any of that. He didn't have the routine. He didn't have to go to bed at a certain time. He didn't have to wake up at a certain time. He missed out on potentially 90 minutes of walking per day, but also the manual labour of just lifting basic stuff, and then the social aspect as well of being surrounded by lads and having good crack, laughing and joking, and also that purpose. So all of that disappeared, completely disappeared. So the initial effects of that is oh great, it's a bit of a holiday, I'm retired now, happy days. But the catastrophic effect on his joints, because he wasn't doing any movement, was so evident. Arthritis, arthritic conditions and symptoms start to just riddle themselves in his knees, his elbows, his shoulders, because he wasn't moving as much. He used to be out on the football pitch in front of his house, playing football with lads, kids that are 50 years younger than him. And he can barely walk up and down the stairs now. And he let himself get to this. He let himself get to this level because there's an amount of personal responsibility that you have to take. A lot of exercise, zero exercise. That drop off a cliff has awful consequences. How I'm going to deliver this video, I'm going to talk about the mindset first. I'm going to talk about what will catch you out, and I'm going to give you an actionable framework in which you can use today in order to start turning this around. And you're probably looking at me thinking, I'm a young lad, I'm 30 odd year old, what the fuck do I know? I work with blokes over the age of 40, over the age of 50, over the age of 60 on my one-to-one program called the Longevity Program, in which they come to me wanting to strengthen their joints and improve their longevity. Typically it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, head coaches, other grapplers, but it's people that want to just start living a fucking amazing life for the rest of their life. Do you know what I mean? That's something that interests you, then book on a call with me, the link's in the description. As you can see, this is the proof of what I do. I don't really care if you're injured, if you're not injured, if you're injury prone, if you want to get shredded, if you want to gain weight. It doesn't really bother me. It's all the same stuff. The process remains the same. And it always starts with character, because the reason you're in your shoes at the moment is because your character, your beliefs, and how you problem solve how you view the world. How you view the world has got you to where you are today. It's nobody else's fault. So the main thing that, when we go back to the title of the video, let me just double check, the slow surrender, is very easy to accept that this is normal, because a lot of your friends are in exactly the same shoes, and a lot of your friends have gained weight since they're retired, or a lot of your friends are happily prioritizing work and neglecting everything else, or happily prioritizing family life, or and so happy and so willing to give up on themselves. So the misconception is that this is normal, this is what happens when we get older, we just give up. Is it normal to give up as a man so early in your life when you've still got probably another 40 years left to live? Is that normal to give up when you've got 40 years left of living? That is mad. And, I'm not going to put my tinfoil hat on and say, there's a lot of profit to be made in having that mindset. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try really hard not to do that. Right, the growth mindset. So you've got the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. We've just talked about the fixed. Is basically saying this is normal, I am willing to accept that this is the way it is, and I will not change because X, Y, and Z. No, that is not what we do on this channel. If that is your mindset and you want to change that, then absolutely subscribe to the channel, like the video. But this is what we are on this channel, growth mindset. Okay, so I've let my personal standards slip a little bit. Now what? That is exactly what I want you to be thinking throughout this video. Personal standards. You're probably thinking, what the hell is that? I comb my hair on a morning, I brush my teeth on a morning, I make my bed. It's deeper than that, lads, right? The personal standards, when I say personal standards, I want you to think about how you have neglected yourself in favour of others. And also, listen, I've done this as well, loads over the past 10, 12 years. I get just as much of a buzz out of prioritising other people as I do myself. Exactly the same. I get exactly the same buzz out of coaching people as I would do in my own training session. So it's very easy to be lazy because I'm doing good for other people. However, the version of me that transpires from that is an unhealthier, lazier version, which is what will transcend into their lives because they're going to copy you. You are the leader of the house. You are the man. They look at you and they will take your standards and apply it into their own lives. It's crazy. We'll talk more about that in a bit. Right, personal standards are the non-negotiable expectations you hold for yourself in how you think, act, live, regardless of circumstances, convenience, or what others accept. Has there been a point in your life where, in a prolonged period, I'm talking not a week, not 2 weeks, 5 years, 10 years, where all of this has been completely put on the back burner? And think about the consequences of that. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and think that this isn't easily done. It is very easily done. And I work with men that are going through this as well. And it just needs me just to go, bang, this is what we're going to do, right? So I'm going to try and draw something here, right? So I'm just going to click out of here. And I want to talk about something very specific, right? And this is how easy it is to do. Right, you've got a cup and you've got life, right? Life just starts filling up this cup. So you've got, let's say, kids. I'm not going to draw a kid. I'm not very good at doing that. You've got marriage. You've got a house. You've got work. You've got the kids' hobbies. You've got the missus. You've got the missus's hobbies. You've got your hobbies, whether that's jiu-jitsu, whether that's drinking alcohol. You've got your friends. You've got holidays. You've got, what else could you want to do? Family, other family as well. You've just got a lot of stuff which is very easy to prioritize this stuff in favor of you over here. Right? You're stood there, here, and you're low on this list. There's a list of stuff here that goes into this. And you're stood there and you neglect yourself in favor of this for years, decades. And then what happens is you end up with knee injuries, with elbow injuries, with weak and stiff knees, nerve injuries, shin splints. It's so easy to let this happen, right? And like I said, this video is about turning it around, right? And we have to make sure that we turn it around in the right manner, because we will fucking lose before we've even started, right? And I like to call this the lever system. This is what we use on the longevity program, and it's where we don't make too many changes at one time. Because if you make loads of changes, you think, right, Greeny, you've really inspired me, you've really motivated me there. I'm ready to start. I want to do it now. I'm going shopping. I'm making all these changes. You're going to be overwhelmed, and your family is going to be overwhelmed by how weird you're acting. You want their support, right? And the only way you get your support, their support, is by making tiny changes, sustainable changes, over a longer period of time. It's not a rush. This is not a rush. It's took you, God knows how many years to even get to the point now where you're actually realizing that you've let it slip. So let's not rush and try and turn all of this around in the next month. No. Make one change per week and do that one change really well, instead of doing 20 different things terribly. Hopefully that makes sense. So, this is the slow reclaim of your personal standards, right? And do them well and pride yourself in them individually, because then when they're a collective part of your life, you will actually enjoy doing them, and it will just be part of your life. It's important. Don't do too much at once. Quality of everyone will be reduced, and your family will think you're a weirdo, and they will not support it. Listen, the last thing I want is your family to be giving you grief for doing the right things by creating your own set of personal standards, which improves your energy, improves your recovery, improves your health, improves your sleep, improves your ability to manage stress, improves your ability to perform as a man for your family, in your sport, in your hobbies, and at home as well. So hopefully you appreciate the lever system. One significant change per week maximum. Phase 1. This is the actionable points. This is the framework. Personal standards system restore. Phase 1. Week 1. Start small, lads. Start small. Walk for 30 minutes per day. Because the less movement is a natural thing that happens when we start to prioritize other people. Watching a film with the kids. Tick. I'm a great dad. Tick. Very easy to be lazy. Very heroic of you to, tick the dad box, but also at the same time, you've neglected the me box. And this whole video is about the me box, personal standards. But I've got an appreciation of the plates that you need to spin. Walk 30 minutes per day, week 1, right? And just understand that this is a process, right? Week 2, sleep. Go to bed at the same time each night. These might sound really simple, right? And this is the beauty of this. When you do something properly, it should be easy. When you act emotionally and just do all of the things at the same time, you become overwhelmed, give up, don't get any results. A good plan, a good system should be effortless at the start, right? Obviously, there's going to be a lot of hard work that is involved, but the main hard work with stuff like this is the social pressure that comes with it, which is emotional. Anyway, that's week 2. So you add this into the week 1. So you're still walking every week, and then you add this in, right? So that's how it works. Week 3, food. Eat 80% whole foods, right? So what I mean by whole foods is that you're not eating things that have a million different ingredients. You're eating things that when you have meat, it's meat. When you have rice, it's rice. When you have oats, it's oats. Fruit, veg. The thing that you eat is the whole version of itself. It's not 10 million different ingredients. But 80%, so that means you've got 20% to have, ice cream with the kids and all the rest of it. Week 3, add this in to your pot of personal standards. Week 4, have fun. Allocate fun once per week. Add that in as well. So now you've built up some personal standards. You're walking 30 minutes every day. You're going to sleep at the same time every night. You're eating 80% whole food. This is after month 1. This is actually really, really good needle movers that are going to massively change your life. And then having fun as well, because it's easy to get sucked into other people's lives, be victim, constantly be at the mercy of other people. You have fun once per week, right? And I want you to think conceptually here, right? Because you might be at a different start point. You might train. You might run 30 minutes per day. This is fine. Wherever your start point is physically, that's absolutely fine. But just think conceptually and use what I'm saying, the lever system. Add another lever in the next week, add another lever in the next week. And just think, this is your personal standards pot. Think about the cup that I talked about earlier on. This is about us. So go back to this, right? I'll escape you there. I'll try and get rid of this. Do I use a rubber? Can I use a rubber? Hey, I can do that. So, your other people's priorities is full. All of this is full. Work, holidays, what the missus wants, what the kids want, hobbies, school runs, all of this is full, and your personal standards cup is empty because your priority is over here, and it's just about slowly filling this one up now. We're doing the walking, we're doing the sleep time, we're doing the food, because if you're constantly at the mercy of this, there is no way you can ever live a fucking very high quality, healthy life, right? So hopefully you appreciate my art. Start point, right? But think conceptually. If you are at a different start point, or if you are confused, then drop a comment below. Remember, right? You've got current responsibilities, and this type of stuff, you can creatively integrate family into all of these things. Movement. Have you got a dog? Can you take the dog out for a walk instead of the missus taking the dog out for a walk? Can you get the kids involved with that as well? Can you get the kids involved in this new, Whole Foods? Can they pick what they want? Can you use Whole Foods to create like flapjacks and stuff in the oven and bake? And yes, you can. So you have to be creative, right? Because if you start going in the other direction and being an absolute weirdo of like, right, I'm going to go out for a walk by myself because I'm on this, personal standards reclaim, you're just going to create friction in the house. You don't need to create friction in the house. Get them involved. You have to be sneaky about it, I'm not going to lie, you have to be sneaky about it. So you can get stronger, healthier, and you don't actually want to neglect them, right? But it's a sneaky battle. Anyway, it results in you doing it for the rest of your life, and them actually following in your footsteps, right? By getting them involved. So the phase 2, which is the month 2. So instead of your less movement, now you're going to double the amount you're walking per day, and you're going to actually do 2 workouts. Now, depending on your start point, this could be a gym membership, this could be a bodyweight workout, right? 2 bodyweight workouts. So now you're significantly improving your movement, which is going to improve your aerobic capacity, your cardiovascular to a very low level. And you're going to start to strengthen your joints with the 2 workouts per week, right? Next one, because you're doing more movement, more sleep. So the week 6 edition, try and get an extra 1 or 2 hours per night. The next one for the food, you're going to work out your required daily calories. Do more movement now. You probably need to be eating more food. And you're going to start weighing yourself every day, every morning. Just so you can keep an eye on it. With this new movement, with this new food, you're probably noticing that you're losing weight. So keep track on that. And if you want to lose weight, then there's videos on my channel on how to do that. Having fun maintains the same, right? Still important. Hopefully you appreciate what I'm saying with this, right? Think conceptually. Your start point might be beyond this, it might be before this. And it's important that you just start to bring back your own personal standards, because you know, you can sit here and, you know, have resent for people in your life that have took your personal standards away, or you can just be sneaky about it once per week, start to reclaim them back. Know what I mean? Okay. As your personal standards increase, the whole family's quality of life improves. They see a slight change in your character, they will support it massively. However, if you do too much in too quick of a time frame, they will not support it because they are getting less of you. They don't want less of you. They want more of you. So invite them out to the park. All of this stuff. And they're getting the benefit as well. Do it right, and they get a better version of you and more of you. The summary, mindset. Your mindset equals your personal standards. It's easy to prioritize everybody else, but you do that at the mercy of yourself. This video is the reclaim of your own personal standards. Remember, the lever system. Do one thing per week and do that one thing really well. And then the actionable framework. Think conceptually with the actionable framework, but use it word for word if you are at that start point of doing nothing and prioritizing absolutely everybody. It's it's a struggle, right? It's hard, but it's worth it, right? Where you currently are comes back down to your personal standards. And if you want to change that, if you want help with me on a one-to-one basis, this is what we do every single day on the longevity program, which is my one-to-one coaching program. Doesn't make a difference if you're injured, if you're injury prone, if you are spinning many plates. We do this, we build this out for you based off your own personal situation, and then walk you through the whole process. Link is in the description if you're interested in that. If not, I'll see you tomorrow.